Fermented foods and bone broth have long been used to process and preserve food and for their healing properties. But these foods are not just practical comfort foods, they're also medicine for your gut, immune system, and more. But how do they actually work and what's the science behind their benefits? So let's talk about sauerkraut, kimchi, pickles. They're fermented foods. How do
Yeah,
they work? And been in use for centuries.
exactly. So these are kitchen staples that you can see culturally throughout different parts of the world. And they're so potent and powerful again because we're getting these vegetables and at times fruits, other like seasonal fruits,
Hmm.
and we are fermenting them. The fermentation process is something that looks like adding vinegar, not any type of vinegar. Like we want quality vinegar. It's like apple cider vinegar. We add
Why does that matter? If it's
because
vinegar, like, isn't vinegar vinegar or no?
well, no, not all
Okay.
vinegars work the same. So, for example, white vinegar we know is used for cleaning, so
Mhm.
we don't want something that would be used for, let's say, a surface to be
Okay.
ingested in the body, right? The process
Too
works different.
harsh.
It's
Okay.
really harsh. It's not, it's too harsh on the body, and we
Okay.
don't need that. On the other hand, we have apple cider vinegar, we have balsamic vinegar,
Mhm.
but apple cider vinegar, I really, really love. And, we also have rice vinegar. Again, different cultures use
Okay.
different things. But what I really love about apple cider vinegar is that you could use it, but it's so fantastic. It has anti-diabetic properties. It's great for blood sugar. It's really good for
Mm.
heart health. It lowers blood pressure. It's quite tasty and it's versatile. So that's where I look at ferments as a way to add the probiotics that
I
we
was just gonna say the
want. Because
probiotics.
that's key, right? We want the
Right.
probiotic and the prebiotic too,
Mhm.
because we're feeding the gut bacteria, but we're also having live cultures, and they help with digestion, they help with the liver, they help with breaking down nutrients and actually absorbing the nutrients that we want to get from food.
So it really
Yeah.
helps, like, get the full benefit of what you're eating, as well as getting
Exactly.
the probiotics and prebiotics.
And they're tasty. They make a good snack too. Sometimes, like especially for women who are,
Yeah.
ovulating or pregnant women, we know that they can
Mm.
go to pickles or,
Yeah.
certain
Yeah.
types of like
So that's a real thing?
right? It is a real thing. You're getting probiotics, you're getting
Mhm.
electrolytes, you're getting
Mm.
minerals and nutrients also because, apple cider vinegar also helps break down the nutrients in the fruits
Okay.
and veggies you're
Great
using.
for
So,
digestion,
for
yeah.
example, with cabbage,
Mhm.
with sauerkraut,
Yeah.
it's potent medicine. It's fantastic.
Now, okay, but are they created equal? Like, are fermented foods created equal, or are there different qualities, variations?
Yeah, we want to look at they are not created the same. Of course, if you're purchasing from a store, you want to
Mhm.
read the label. If you see things on the ingredient list that you can't pronounce, or
Okay.
even like citric acid, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be a little bit wary of it.
And why
Wary
is
of it
that?
because when we ferment things, like when our grandmothers fermented things and our
Mhm.
ancestors did, they just used a little bit of maybe sugar for the fermentation process to happen,
Okay.
salt, some water, and the vinegar of choice with
Mhm.
those vegetables. And
Right.
usually they use seasonal vegetables. So when we buy things, they add a lot of like sugars, preservatives, additives. Sometimes you can find really good quality sources too that are absolutely just like whole foods, things you can pronounce, and they have some aromatics like garlic and herbs and dill and all sorts of things. But I would say you can make this at home, and it's a
Yeah.
fairly easy process. You can do it with your onions and with your radish. You can do it with cabbage. Like you can make sauerkraut at home.
What about bone broth? Let's talk about that for a minute.
Right.
Is it the cure all that so many people say it is?
I would say so. It's not a fad. But the thing
Yeah.
with fad diets is that they become popular for good reason. It's like
Mm.
saying stereotypes have some nuggets of truth in them. So
Right.
bone broth is used generationally. Our parents did them, our grandparents and their grandparents. Bone broth has
So
been
what
around.
are some of the really really key?
Keys. So you
Yeah.
get the collagen from bone
Okay.
broth. You get minerals and collagen. They're fantastic for joint health. And we get the
Mm.
minerals that are necessary for people, for example, with osteoporosis. We also
Okay.
really want good skin health with it, right? So we get the
Right.
qualities, benefits of good skin. We get so many antioxidants and
Mm.
also nutrients that are coming from the veggies that we use with the bones. But also the bones help with that connective tissue. So they have the connective tissue, but they also help us with the digestive system, and also the ways that our, we absorb nutrients. So they actually increase nutrient absorption as well. So for people who struggle with malnutrition or gut issues, bone broth, it's like
Is key.
it's
All
like
right.
you're drinking nutrients and supplements. Instead of buying the supplement, I would say drink the broth.
Stay with us. We're going to be right back.